You know, when you're in IT support, it is so easy to just get lost in the tech, all the hardware, the software, the code. But here's the thing, fixing the machine, that's only half the battle. The other half, and maybe even the more important half, is all about the human interaction. So today, we're going to dive into that crucial balance between the science of troubleshooting and the art of communication. Man, this quote really just gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? At the end of the day, IT support isn't really about fixing computers. It's about helping people. The tech is just the tool we use. The real goal is making someone's day and their work just a little bit easier.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the technical toolkit. Then we'll get into the super important art of human interaction. We'll also cover how to handle those really tough conversations, look at the anatomy of a support session, and then wrap up with why documenting your work is an absolute game changer. Okay, let's start with the science. These are the systematic, logical methods you can use to tackle even the most confusing technical issues. It's all about having a solid process, right? A framework for thinking that lets you just cut through all the noise.
You know, one of the biggest mistakes in troubleshooting is just jumping to conclusions. On one hand, you've got the not-so-awesome response, which assumes the worst and creates instant panic. But the awesome approach, it just starts with simple, clarifying questions. I mean, in the real-life example this is based on, the screen's brightness was just turned all the way down. A simple question saved $1,000 and a whole lot of unnecessary stress. So once you start asking those questions, you can move on to isolating the problem. And this is such a powerful technique. Instead of getting totally overwhelmed trying to guess the one thing that's wrong out of a million possibilities, you just flip the script. You systematically prove what is working, which shrinks the scope of the problem down to something you can actually manage. Here's a really cool way to think about this. Just imagine a number guessing game. If you're guessing a number from 1 to 100, random guesses are a total waste of time. But if you ask questions that cut the possibilities in half each time, like is it greater than 50, you can zero in on the answer in just a handful of steps. This is that divide and conquer approach you should bring to any technical problem. Okay, another great method is to put on your detective hat and follow the cookie crumbs. It all starts with one simple but incredibly powerful question. When did this problem start? By going back to the last moment everything was working perfectly, you create a starting point to retrace the steps and see what changed along the way. Check out the Fun Cat app, for example. Yesterday, it worked perfectly. Last night, it started an update, and this morning, it's broken. The timeline creates this crystal clear trail of cookie crumbs leading right to the cause. That update. No guessing required. You just had to follow this sequence of events. So, we've got our technical tools. Now let's move on to the art of the solution. Because a technically perfect fix that's delivered poorly, well, it can still feel like a total failure to the person you're trying to help. This is where good support becomes great support. The most important soft skill is absolutely empathy, and this analogy explains it perfectly. Sympathy is feeling for someone from a safe distance, but empathy, that's about feeling with them. It's about taking a moment to truly see the situation from their perspective. When you show genuine empathy, you're not just an IT specialist, you become their ally. And your tone, whether you're speaking or writing, makes a huge difference. The first example is a command. It's blunt, kind of dismissive. The second one, though, is a suggestion. It explains the reasoning and, crucially, it opens the door for more conversation if the fix doesn't work. See the difference? It's collaborative, not condescending. But of course, not every interaction is easy. People get frustrated, stress levels go up, and things can get tense. So how do you handle those difficult conversations while staying professional and, most importantly, effective? Well, first, it's really important to recognize what's happening in your own body. When someone is confrontational, your brain can trigger a fight or flight response. You might get sweaty palms or a racing pulse, maybe your hands shake a bit. That's a completely normal biological reaction. Just recognizing these signs in yourself is the first step to managing them. So, how do you de-escalate? Here's a simple but incredibly effective technique for when you find yourself talking over someone. Instead of just talking louder, just stop. Let there be a few seconds of silence. This pause breaks that cycle of escalation. It gives everyone a moment to reset, and it lets you restart the conversation on a much calmer note. Okay, now let's map out the key moments of a support interaction, from that very first hello all the way to the final resolution, and let's see how these principles apply in the real world. That first 5 seconds, it matters a lot. The standard greeting is fine, sure, but it's purely transactional. The empathetic greeting, however, acknowledges the user's frustration right away. By saying sorry to hear you're having a bad day, you immediately show you're on their side. You're building trust before you even touch the technology. And here is a crucial tip. Before you jump into fixing things, just pause and clarify the problem. A user might say their computer can't get online when they really just mean they can't access one specific website. Taking 10 seconds to confirm what the actual problem is can save you 20 minutes of chasing the wrong issue. So we found the problem, we've solved it with great communication, but there's one final step, and it's one of the most important for you, your team, and pretty much everyone who comes after you: documentation. Seriously, if you spend hours solving a complex issue and don't write it down, you are guaranteeing that someone, and hey, maybe even you, will have to spend those same hours solving it all over again in the future. It's a massive waste of time, effort, and knowledge. And this is what good documentation looks like in practice. Fixed issue. That tells you nothing. The awesome ticket, on the other hand, leaves a perfect audit trail. It explains the problem, the root cause, and the exact steps taken to fix it. Anyone seeing this ticket in the future knows exactly what happened and how to fix it if it ever happens again. So the next time you're solving a problem, ask yourself this question. Effective IT support is this powerful blend of science and art. It's about using systematic methods to solve technical challenges while using empathy and clear communication to guide the person at the center of it all. See, solving the technical issue is the job, but mastering the interaction, that's what makes you truly great at it.